going on, you guys? Slumpy here with the T Bridges, as you know. So, Tristan, what did you do today?
So, I got fifth at the Spokane Regionals. I went X1. I played a Cyberse Eldlich deck. I know a lot of people wouldn't choose the Cyberse Eldlich deck because it is not very powerful. But I chose to play the Cyberse Eldlich deck because it gave you the most opportunities to play as many games as possible. First I want to do a couple shout outs before we start the deck profile. I want to give a huge shout out to the foundation, of course. You know, Darren, Landon, Danny, you know, we put a lot of effort into this deck. Especially Danny and Landon. So they convinced me to play this deck. And then shout outs to Gio, Paco, Luis, Kevin, Ollie, Brian, John. You know, they helped me also refine the deck throughout the week, just because, you know, I switched the deck last week. So I just need to finalize some card choices, and they were obviously all playing more powerful decks, so it was really good testing. And finally, like, biggest shout out is to Team Scheme. Whatever it takes, you already know. Yeah, so I separated my deck in categories. So the first one we're gonna go over is hand traps. And so I played quite a bit of hand traps. 18 and 19. Okay, so these, I chose to play all these because they're universally good versus most matchups, especially Rogue. You know, Impermanent Veiler, always really good. Nibiru, Adventure Engine, generically good. Droll, so this was Bell right before, but I switched to Droll because Droll ended their turn, or they just put cards on the board to end on a DPE, and that was usually fine and doable to deal with. So Droll necessarily wouldn't stop them, right? Like, my goal wasn't to completely stop them with my hand traps, but to just mitigate their board. And I chose to play one Lancet because with Dagda, if I know the matchup, I can either shotgun it. If I draw it, I shotgun it, and if not, I can just set it with the DP and then hit Fluenderies. That came up a lot today. So that's why I chose these 19 hand traps to carry me through the tournament. They were all really good. I wouldn't change any of them. Then I chose to max out on the one card starters here, 9. I don't play Silent Mining because all these cards do a really good job at playing around hand traps, specifically Ash and Veiler, you know, stuff like that. Like, these were all really, really good against those cards. And so the thing with Silent Mining is it opens you up to get ashed, and you neg one, and people are like, well, there's a lot of good cards to discard, and in fact that is true, but you want to get the pluses in a different way than negging one to just replace it, because then you're not really advancing your game state, you're just replacing it. And so I chose not to play Silent Mining, but these all were really good. This card brought back Magician's Souls like 3 times today, and yeah, that was the sauce. So yep, I chose those 9, and then I chose to play 5 Souls. A lot of people were cutting prep because they wanted to play around Droll, but the thing is like, sometimes if I draw multiples of these, I'm using this to dump for an extra draw, right, to go deeper in my deck. And if I draw like 2 of these, for example, then that's not going to do that. Like, I can special than normal and make an Anaconda, but with this I can at least get a draw to go deeper in my deck. Maybe I draw a 1 card starter, you know. Prep could have gone to 2. If I decided to play more Souls, I would play more preps because I can draw off Souls with them. So if I choose to up the count, that's where I'm going to go in the future. Obviously I play Artifact Scythe. Yeah, it's just 1 card combo, really degenerate. So yeah. Then I played my Brave Engine. And then this is where it gets a little bit different. I played 2 Fateful. So specifically in my deck, this became a thing because I didn't want to just draw right over Meteor and then just have it do nothing or progress my game state. So after I clear the first one, either with Souls or my opponent clears it, I can always set up the second one. And also, if this gets Ghost so good at the beginning, on the crackback, on the follow-up, this is just the full thing. You know what I mean? And so there was just a lot of reasons to play 2. And this card is not bad to draw because then you can start chain blocking things with this card. Yeah, I'm not gonna say what, but you want to chain block with this card, and it does a great job at that when you hard draw it. So yeah, and I hard drew it like 4 times today. It was fine. It actually helped progress my game state because it gave me 2 bodies to make Anaconda. So Brave package was obviously great. Also with the Foolish, I get to play 4 Enchantresses. In this deck specifically, if you notice, like the only cards you're really foolishing is either the Enchantress, or you can hit Dot Scraper. I did not foolish for a Dot Scraper today. It rarely comes up, so most of the time this is just another Enchantress. So I could see myself, if I feel like Enchantress, I'm getting too cloggy with it, I might cut one, but still, it's fantastic. DPE package, really good. Heart and soul of the deck, pretty much. And then my Eldlich engine was 1 Lord, 3 Curse, 3 Conch, 3 Elixir, and only 1 Wakero. If I changed anything in this deck, it would be to include a second Wakero, because it has a lot of, it does a lot of good in the format with DPE in it. And so I wish I had more opportunities instead of having to hold the 1 copy to hit DPE. So that's what another thing the other fate could turn into, is a second Wakero. This card actually won me my match against Fluenderies because my opponent went Ostrich and they targeted the card in my grave and I just Wakero'd it, so they didn't get the extra normal, and so they had to pass with 4 birds in their hand. I killed them with DPE, Eldlich, and all that. So, I mean, strange that it came up, but it worked. And he de-shifted me 2 times, so it was nuts. So yeah, that was the main deck. 60 cards, obviously. My side deck, Gamma. It's literally the best going second hand trap. So yeah, that's why I played it. Really, no need to explain that. So between my main and side deck, before I had Drolls in, shout out to Danny. I was playing Token Collector because Token Collector was just really good in very generic matchups. But the thing is at the regionals I was at, I was expecting more rogue decks, more of other decks, and this was definitely just not a card that can always hit those matchups. And the other part is I love how it gives me a body, but I hate how it cuts me out of Nibiru. And so that happened a lot where I had to pick and choose between Nibiru or letting them go off, Nibiruing them, then collecting them, or I would have to choose between one or the other, and that was really unfortunate. So yeah, Token Collector was really good though. It's really good against the Brave Soul deck. What's the other? Was it Brave? No, what's the acronym? Based. That base deck. This is really good against the base deck, and so like this and Joel are just considered blinds. So I wanted to play them.
It also just randomly comes up against like the Brinkhead matchup too. Like even stopping like right and then stopping like their token that they can generate just like helps you like progress your game state.
Oh, I made a crazy play with this. So I went, my opponent had the package on the field, just the Enchantress and the Wonder Griffin Rider. So I went, this was engraved. So I went normal Cyberse Gadget, Link, make the Disciple, and then I'm like, effect to bring out token, effected Token Collector, and he had to either choose to Griffin me there, or this was gonna come out and just pop the thing. So yeah, there's like neat little scenarios you can do with this card, and it's like a mini floodgate in my opinion, just because people aren't going to keep the droplets in or the chalice and all that. This next card, huge shout out to Geo, because I wasn't going to play this card, but Ghost Spell and Haunted Mansion. I wasn't going to play this card. It was going to be shared ride, but the thing is I was dying when I shared rode. 2 or 3 draws is what they give you, but they'll kill you. And so if you don't draw the appropriate hand traps, which in 60 cards is very difficult, they can just push through it. And so I wanted to help with the other rogue matches. This was another card that Droll was in the main deck, but the reason why we moved these to the side deck is just because it is not good against everything in most decks or combo decks. So this would only hit Enchantress. And to me, that wasn't enough. I needed a hand trap that impacted the board and minimized the board, and this just didn't do that. But this was great against Eldlich Mirrors. This was great against Prank Kids. I won all my Prank Kids matchups because of this card. So yeah, I think I'm gonna bump this up to 3 for sure. Again, shout out to Danny and Landon, Crossout Designator. I was not a believer of this card. I was, like I said, I was strictly playing shared ride. But the cards that this hit against, like if I play a pile deck and my opponent is also playing a pile deck, still can hit almost the same exact things. right? My biggest thing on why I didn't main deck it is because I did not like the idea of playing hand traps and going second with this if I lost the roll. And so I just wanted to put it in every time I went first. This card's great. Definitely one of the best cards in my set deck. And then finally, last card I played was Twin Twister. So I was gonna do Lightning Storm. I was a big fan of Lightning Storm, but Twin Twister hits all those rogue decks miscellaneous cards, and by that I mean the Prank Kid Fusion, Shadow Schism, stuff like that, you know, and Fluundery's The City of Dreams or whatever it's called. This card takes care of those cards, and the thing is, well, people are like, oh, well, why don't you play Cosmic Cyclone? It's a 1-for-1. The thing is about Cosmic is, I understand that Lancea is bad against me, but other players do not comprehend that Lancea is bad against this deck. And so they will just shotgun it, and then it's like, okay, now my Cosmics are dead. So I just went with Twin, that way I didn't have to worry about that. And like if I discard this, you know, this will regenerate a card, and I took 2 cards away from my opponent. So it's worth the trade with Twin Twister compared to other cards. Yeah, and that's the deck. Oh, my extra deck. Woo, sheesh.
The important combo piece.
Tokens. I played Link Disciple, of course. 2 Devotee. You need this for the combo. Spider. I played 2 of this, but I cut it for the Phoenix. Link Karibo. This card's really, really good.
Link Karibo.
Yeah, this card's insane. I hit, my opponent had 2 sets. I made this, and then I was just like, I just played through it, made Anaconda, hit their Imperm, and that was it. Phoenix. Yeah, so here's the thing. I want to play Nightmare Cerberus over this card because Cerberus lets me play against the combo decks. But the thing is, what Phoenix does is it gives me a chance to clear my opponent's back row before I can make my push for play. And so in my mind, it does the same exact thing practically. So yeah, I just played Phoenix. Again,
I think Phoenix only comes up more in the mirror match than that's it.
Yeah, Phoenix really only comes up against Eldlich. Halki for the Celine combo. Dagda. This confuses people. I played 2 Anaconda. Okay, so if someone knows what your deck does, they know to Nibiru you when you summon this. So what they're going to do is they're going to nib you on the summon, and then you're just like, okay, extender here, make Link Spider with the token, make second Anaconda, make DPE through nib. Punishes them every time, and you probably still have the Scythe, so, like, yeah. It was just really good to punish people, and I did it 4 times today. Like, it comes up a lot. Just 4 times off the top of my head. I think it was more than that. DPE. And then finally my last package is just the 4, these 4. So these are crack this format. These are the best cards.
Insane.
They search my cards if they want to ogre me. My light or darks. This searches souls. This can search the Cyberse gadget. Feck Veiler, whatever I need. So if they want to ogre this, that's great. If they don't ogre this, then they're going to meet Celine and access code. So it was just, they're just all really good cards this format. I took a DPE with this. I lost, but I mean, I still prevented them from DPing me, and access code's access code, so it was really good. Yeah, and that's everything. Thank you guys so much, and I hope to see you guys soon.
Alright guys, something out. Thank you guys, Tristan. Shout out to Team Scheme. If you guys haven't checked them out, make sure to go check them out. Having free PS4 tournament going, PS5 tournament going on right now, plus other stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Peace out.